detention center. From detention center, after 1 year, 4 months, I appear in the court for the first time. So from the court straight, it took me to prison, where I met Nigerians there.
After the court process, they now sentenced you?
No, I've not been sentenced. It was after 4 years, 4 months. They told me that my file will go to Bureau. That my sentence is supposed to be 6 years according to the Chinese law and according to the Chinese tradition. So now I have acquired points, 90 points, first 60 points and the other one 30 points. So they will give me 1 year, 5 months. So meanwhile, in the next 3 months, you'll be going to see your family. The point system is what they use to control the problem there. If you wanted to cause problem, maybe you fight or you do everything, you started from square one again. Because you started from 1 point, gradually 2 point, 3 point, 4 point, 5 points. For me, I was lucky. So when they took me to prison, I write an article, how to live a harmonious life in prison. So when I wrote those things, they took the paper, and after 11 months, the results come back. So they promote me from 3 points to 5 points, which is the highest. So that's why it took me 1 year, 9 months before I could acquire that first 60 points.
By amassing points for good behavior, he says he eventually regained his freedom after 4 years and 7 months.
Every day we ask everybody here, we shout to our family, please send me money, please send me money. Because we have to do shopping once in a month. When they bring the shopping paper, you write whatever you want of $50, which is 300 RMB for food. The food they are giving, they give us rice in the morning. That rice in the morning as a breakfast, they cook it with water, a lot of water inside. They give us with water, with steaming bread. They call it mantu, white. So if you eat that mantu too much, it gives you blood sugar. They open account for us, agricultural bank. So they open account for each person. So you have your own credit card, but that card is with them. When you went for shopping, they bring it out. You just put the pin. They give you the pin. You put the pin, then they remove the money. So when the money, maybe sometimes embassy used to put money again, at least twice in a year.
He also says the Nigerian inmates in Chinese prisons are earnestly hoping the government reaches some kind of agreement with the Chinese government so that they could come back to Nigeria to serve out their sentence. He, however, warns that things may not move fast.
Their things is gradually. If they start something today, if you don't pressurize them, it can take them 4 or 5 years. Before I don't learn how to be patient, but now I don't see anything that is to make me to be in haste. If I want to do something, I use that psychology that after all I was somewhere waiting for this thing for good 4 years, 7 months. So when you are there, you have to learn how to be patient. They don't do their things in a haste. Gradually, if they want to give you this Anki, just to go there and bought it, it can take them 6 months. You will be seeing the Anki. No queue, nothing. But they say according to the law.
It's a virtue the Nigerian inmates back in Chinese jails would also have learned, and part of the reasons why some of their family members are making this passionate appeal.
I want the federal government to go and bring them back home. According to what my husband told me, he said there's a lot of, they are suffering there. They say they don't really give them food to eat, but they will give them indomie and water. So a lot of people is dying there.
I am pleading and begging our government to help our Nigerian people and Chinese, because they are suffering there. Many are dying there. Some people are committing suicide because of the sufferance. I am pleading the government to put effort and let them help those people there, to bring them home so that they will come here. Even if they don't want them to stay, to come home freely, let them stay in Nigeria here, because they are suffering.
Keep your bad job, come help me. Come help me, come help me. Ọ̀nà tó bá lè bá wa gbé gbà káwọn ọmọ yẹn fi máa bọ̀ Nàìjíríà kọjọ́ kan help mi kán ràn mí lọ́wọ́ mo ò ní dàgbà ìyà mo ò ní jìyà kan bá dàgbà tán kó ṣàánú mi.
I've tried to plan out, map out a strategy that we're going to handle this situation. The families, fine. I'm planning to have a program with the families of those people in China jail, in Nigeria here. You know, with their kinsmen. We're going to tell them what their people are facing in China, what they have really done, and also see how we can request or ask for help from the federal government to use, because this what has happened is not what you can just come out and begin to apportion blame to government or apportion blame to Chinese embassy or Chinese government. You see, it's something that has to take a diplomatic approach.
While the quest for that diplomatic approach continues, something needs to be done to check the mounting number of Nigerians in Chinese jails. Almost on a weekly basis, the nation's anti-drugs agency NDLEA makes audacious arrests and charge drug smugglers and barons to court. But with close to 90% of Nigerians in Chinese jails convicted for drug offenses and some for smuggling drugs into that country, questions are being asked as to whether NDLEA is not losing the war on drugs.
The NDLEA today is winning the war against illicit drugs, trafficking and abuse. But the truth is, it is an enormous challenge, because, like you rightly observed, that most of them in foreign prisons, must have committed one drug trafficking offense or the other. But not all that are serving jail terms abroad, took off from Nigeria with drugs. Most of them went there, in search of greener pastures, so to speak. By our latest statistics, the total, estimated value of drugs seized in 2011 amounted to about 31 billion naira. And that shows how serious it is.
If you are talking about whether we are doing enough of arresting and prosecuting these people who are involved in this thing, I would say yes. Because, NDLEA has the best record as far as arrest and prosecution is concerned in the whole of Nigeria, and from what I hear, in almost the whole of Africa. As far as arrests, seizures, and prosecution of drug offenders are concerned, NDLEA has the best record. In fact, if you compare our output with our resources, you will say that the people who work in this agency, they are magicians.
With just 5,300 personnel in 42 locations and a capital budget of around 100 million naira, which approximates to about $636,000 for this year, the agency could well be performing a magic. In 2011 alone, it made a total of